Round number 2. Still playing off what we were just speaking on. I wanted to talk about which was your more favorite version of Marshall at this point, because you tend to get a young version of Marshall basically let's call it the Slim Shady character on the Slim Shady LP. He's popping shrooms, he's partying, he's fucking doing all types of shit, and what was that?
Murder somebody.
He's killing. He's whatever. He's wild on the Slim Shady LP. And again, naming his second album, the Marshall Mathers LP, was sort of showing some of that growth that we talk about in a record such as Stan. I mean, he's still dollied in the Slim Shady character, if you will. But we got to see some of his more matureness, if you will, on the Marshall Mathers LP. So I guess overall, this kind of segueing sort of off the last question, because both of those were different sides of what he brought to the game on each album. Which was your sort of favorite version of Eminem? Was it the younger, wild, crazy, I don't give a fuck, really, like just don't give a fuck, like the song says, or was it the Marshall Mathers, kind of bitter, mad at the world from all the fame he got on Marshall Mathers LP?
I was definitely feeling that Marshall Mathers LP, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Definitely, like the maturity, like he can tell like the big difference, and plus he was expressing himself more about what was really going on.
Right.
With the record labels and whatever else was cool, with the lawsuits. He
addresses all that, exactly. That's all. Yeah. But there's still the Slim Shady sprinkle as well. I'm nuts.
Yeah, I felt both though.
I'm a criminal. Yeah.
I kind of felt both, but because you need to allow a person to grow.
For sure. But you could also still be fascinated with one person's sort of time and place, Yeah.
But Slim Shady album, he just it was shocking. It was shocking the things he was saying and got away with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm going Shady on this one.
Oh, Triple C with the unexpected switch of the team real fast.
Yeah, and tell you the truth, I didn't really hear nothing about M until Scan played me Just Don't Give a Fuck. That's the first thing I heard from him. Really.
Got you. Me too. Fair enough. Triple C putting down his vote for Slim Shady, the LP. No, that side of the vote, but basically saying he likes the younger Slim, more crazy, I don't give a fuck M. Anybody feel the same, or are they more, like I said, more experienced Eminem on the Marshall?
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with the Marshall Mathers, not the Slim.
You. Go ahead, speak on it.
I just due to the fact that I felt like the Marshall Mathers was more to where I had first heard M before he dyed his hair blonde. M, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I just like, because I don't like his music. You know what I mean? There's probably a couple of joints that I like, but he is one of the dopest lyricists you have ever heard. You know what I mean? So it kind of sucks that the Slim Shady was like, it was like, all right, you're taking control of this. Like, you're trying to emphasize that this white boy is nice as an MC, other than just letting him be a dope MC. You know what I mean? So I'm going with the Marshall Mathers.
Marshall Mathers LP on the vote. Ike putting his vote down. Again, you kind of see the contrast we're talking about here. Young versus more mature, if you will, just to summarize. Optics, you were going somewhere with that. What were you about to say?
I said I'm going young Slim because, to me, the growth, I appreciate the growth, but I don't like any of the music where the growth took him.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Just to be real, I liked kind of some of the crazy shit on the first album.
Right.
And then...
And that's still that version of Eminem is still that a bleed off of that raucous kind of Eminem that we first kind of learned, and that...
Right.
That's internet world.
That ties into Bad Meets
So
Evil,
was he what? Was he on Raucous before?
Slim.
He had put music out on Raucous, but not like his own music. He'd be featured
maybe I heard him. I just didn't know.
On Soundbombing.
Soundbombing, the Sway and Tech compilation.
Yeah.
I think he had some of the. Did he have Bad Meets Evil before the album came out?
That was before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was dropping music.
Oh, so I probably did hear about it and didn't really notice him until Just Don't Give a Fuck came out. So
could probably be that. I mean, again, yeah, he was dropping music a bunch of different ways at that time with a bunch of different situations. I think that's off the Infinite project, but it made it on to the Slim Shady LP, excuse me, later on.
He wasn't a household name.
Yeah. Nah, he was grinding. At that point, he's grinding. So, Optics, you're saying the younger
Yeah.
Slim
I like that.
You like that?
I like when he was just rapping
out there.
and I still liked some of the beats.
We all did. I mean, that's what fascinated us. We're like, what the fuck is he gonna say next?
I mean, so I'm gonna go with Optics on this one because I also don't
Slim Shady, right?
Yes.
Young, okay.
I also don't like the growth and where the music has taken him. Like it's I don't know. He was hungry on the Slim Shady album.
Oh yeah.
And he was. I mean, I know that's the case for a lot of MCs.
I also feel like he was having fun.
What did you say?
I also just feel like he was having fun. I feel like the other albums were like work. You could feel the work.
Yeah, probably. I mean, because the Slim Shady LP blew him up to such like such an icon, such status. Like people were paying attention. And I mean, to piggyback on what Optic said, I mean, he is, and what Ike said as well, he's probably one of the best pure lyricists that there is ever.
Most definitely.
But his music does not translate into that for me. So I'm gonna say, and I still think, honestly, still don't give a fuck. I mean, I don't give a fuck, and still don't give a fuck are one of the hardest songs ever.
They are fucking dope.
I got a question.
That line of cursing at you rap is worse than Marty Schottenheimer is.
He's got a lot of lines in there.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. I got a question for you. What doesn't resonate with his music? Because
it sounds too commercial and too pop right now for me. I mean, like the song with Rihanna is. I mean,
I feel you.
It's Rihanna.
Now it's like, nah.
I just wanted him to have better beats.
Yes,
I think he could have just if he would have had better beats. You know what I mean? The discussion probably wouldn't be as in depth as it is. It would be like,
that's always been the argument, man. That's always been the argument for the type of artist that he is. He could have literally worked with any producer in the entire world.
He has a budget.
Gave him free tracks. Yeah. Like you could have worked with anybody, and you didn't. And I think part of that is what tainted a little bit.
Agreed.
And he started 100%. making his own beats. Now, some of them are okay, but like, man, I don't know.
I listen. I'm gonna encourage you to finish that statement because we talked in previous episodes about how Eminem's production could have its own episode. Well, while I doubt that ever will happen, this is about as close as we're ever gonna get. So Hobo, I encourage you to fuck because I feel this. I think a lot. I mean, maybe I'm being presumptuous. I feel the same way you do. I think some other people in the room feel the same way you do about specifically just his production. And
it's mediocre. It's mid-grade. It's mid-grade.
It's all right. It's might be bad.
It's the Reggie Miller. That's what it is.
Hold on. You gonna force me to take a hit?
It's the Reggie Miller.
It's the Reggie Miller. Ouch.
Reggie. It's not.
It is though.
It's not anything exceptional. And like Scan was saying, you are, first of all, you're Eminem, right?
Does anybody feel differently, by the way? And you're allowed to speak differently. It's all just. But
I agree. I agree with everything Hobo said because as I was going through those albums, I'm like, the beats are like, but I think, as everyone alluded to, Eminem, he's definitely a dope lyricist. You even have Rakim even saying that Eminem is one of like the top dudes.
He definitely did. Yeah, he said that. Yeah.
Right? And then the thing about it is that, you know, he could have, and there's a slew of producers that could have, I would say, not enhanced, but complemented his style, bring a little bit more out of his
or he would have been or his skill and his ability is so dope, he would have brought something else out of those beats.
Exactly.
All right.
So for me, listening to those albums, I'm like, okay, those beats never really kind of stood out. Some were cool, but it wasn't like, oh, I gotta rewind this joint and listen to this beat again. It wasn't like that for me. Right. But not to take away from Eminem because he's definitely dope. he knows how to put words together, and he's a wordsmith. But you know.
So which one you choosing?
Oh.
Pick up
Thank you, Triple C. Thank you.
So who do you got? Who do you got?
Both of them. How about that?
Young Marshall or old Marshall?
I'm gonna go with young Marshall because he was hungry, and then you know, people were trying to figure out like who this guy was, what the sound was, and you know, and it was his first joint, so it was like it wasn't bad for his first one.
Nah, and there's it's got its fair share of fillers, as we've called them, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we go on. Let me see. So we got Triple C's vote, Optics vote, Hobo, Breeze just left his, Masterminds, and Ike. Am I missing anybody at this point? No, right? We're good. Because my math is horrible after that last hit I just took. So,
at least you admitted it, my brother. At least you admitted it.
With that being said, wrapping up round number 2, we decided to place, like I say, sort of the question to the room about a younger Slim Shady versus a more mature Marshall Mathers on each project, respectfully entitled by each sort of name that they went by. And the majority of the room kind of resonated more with the Slim Shady side of things, excuse me, with a couple of votes going towards Marshall Mathers. But it seems the more favorite Marshall of the room was the young Slim Shady, the wild, crazy, I don't give a fuck Marshall Mathers. So this round officially puts the Slim Shady LP on the board right here.